back to our channel. If you like the content we're creating, please like and subscribe. Today's topic is truth. I wrote the definition for truth, and it is truth, the quality or state of being true. True, in accordance with fact or reality, being genuine or honest. I'd like to talk about truth today. Well, let's first start with the scripture. Psalm 15:2. Walk with integrity, be righteousness, speak with truth. A story about truth and a mistake that I've made in the past where I didn't tell the truth and I suffered consequences for it. There was a guy that I was dating, and he asked me a very serious question, and I looked him straight in the face and I lied. And he was a strong believer of Jesus Christ, and and he asked me to be honest. He was an honest person, and I just straight out lied to him. I lied. And what happened not too long thereafter was I had a brand new Xterra that I babied, detailed and cleaned the air conditioner with Q-tips and everything. And I was driving on a 6-lane freeway. There was 6-lane freeway, oncoming traffic, 6-lane freeway this way, and about a 3-foot concrete divider in the middle. I was in the far left lane, and as I was going about 50 miles per hour, a work truck, an American-made work truck, either Ford or Dodge or one of those heavy metal work trucks, swerved right into my lane and covered my entire lane at about a half a block's distance, or a block's distance between that. But going that fast, a car like that comes upon you in seconds. And it was at that time that I realized if I just crashed right into the vehicle, I would have died. It would have been a straight on impact. But either a higher being or I don't know what, something made me pull my wheel all the way to the left and ricochet off the vehicle. So what had happened was there was no avoiding the car. It covered my entire lane. So I hit it, but instead of hitting it dead on, I kind of ricocheted off of it, and the impact, and by me turning my wheel, it caused my vehicle to turn over in mid-air. So I turned over in mid-air and was upside down, and I landed on the roof. And if you know, the Xterras have kind of a high roof, and my roof smashed and stopped right just before my head, and I was sliding upside down on the roof, and I crashed right into the middle concrete embankment. So I was upside down on the roof, smashed into the 3-foot middle concrete divider, and the whole front of my vehicle was totaled all the way and stopped just before me. So I was now then in something that looked like this, hanging upside down by my seatbelt in my vehicle, in shock. And I was hanging upside down by my seatbelt, and I kept trying to push the seatbelt to try to let myself down from hanging upside down. And I finally got it to release, and I jumped on my roof, which is now the floor. And the door was stuck in the ground, so I had to push the door out, and I squeezed out a little space from in the door. And what had happened was people were pulling off the freeway and being oh my God, I seen your car flip over in mid-air, are you okay? And I was in shock. I got out and I was like, yeah, I wasn't injured. It was shocking. And cops showed up, paramedics showed up shortly thereafter, and the paramedics had done a full-on physical, and they were shocked as well. They said, we've seen a lot of accidents like that, and even the cops too. They were all wow, we've never seen that. Usually it's a bad situation when a vehicle looks like that, like this, and you walk out with just 3 scratches on your left foot, G-O-D. That's, well, to me, it stood for G-O-D after the fact when I think back to it. But they were all in shock that I wasn't injured, and my vehicle was like totaled. What had happened was I got into the tow truck with the guy who was driving the work truck. Both of our vehicles were totaled. He wasn't injured either, miraculously. And we both got into the tow truck, and he didn't like apologize or anything. It was the strangest thing. I was like, okay, dude, you almost like just killed me, like. And he was just unapologetic, and he just hands me a pamphlet. He's like, do you want to come to my church? And I was like, and at the time I wasn't going to any church or a strong believer yet, but I took the pamphlet and I was like, okay, might check it out, you know, but I just thought it was so bizarre. And then instead of apologizing, he had explained, he said, well, if I didn't swerve into your lane, on my right side there was a small white Tercel. All three of our vehicles were white. And he's like, there was a small Tercel with a little old lady in it, and she would have, if I would have swerved into her lane, because something was happening with his brakes or something on his car. I forgot what he had said, but he said, if I didn't swerve into your lane, I would have swerved into hers, and I don't think her car could have taken the impact. And then, so when I thought about it, I was like, okay, well, that's true, because I had to remember seeing that car, and it was a small Tercel, and there was a little old lady in it that kind of reminded me of my grandmother. So I was like, okay, that's cool then. Good thing you swerved into my lane, because obviously my car could take the impact, right? Even though, yeah, so it worked out for the best, I guess. But yeah, after, it was so funny because everything in my car was like, I had a surfboard that broke in half. Like, I had my cell phone, like, literally was like, it like exploded into, like, it was like pieces. I found pieces of it like all over my car. Like, I feel like as I was turning over the funny thing was, as I was turning over the vehicle, the guy that I lied to, who was a strong believer, his face like flashed into my mind so clearly, like clear as day. It was like slow motion. Like the whole event took place like within minutes, but his face was so clear to me. Like it was like slow motion. Like my vehicle, I hit the truck, I was turning over, and during that motion, his face just like popped into my mind, and I just seen him, and I was like, oh my gosh, like. So I feel like God was like, don't mess with one of my children, you know, like, don't mess with, but at the same time, he knows my heart, and he knows that, you know, I'm a good person. I'm in the process, trust me, but, and he, for some reason, protected me as well. Like, not like he's a punishing God, but there had to be consequences for my actions, but because he knows my heart, he protected me. Because 3 scratches, I mean, to me, now I think about it, it was a miracle. And to all the paramedics and police officers and the people put on the side of the road, they said the same thing. They were like, that is amazing. Like, we don't know how that happened. And to tell you the truth, I don't know either. But another thing about truth is that my grandma had always told me when I was growing up that no matter what, the truth will always come out. Like, it will reveal itself. If not within hours, if not within days, months, could be years, could take 10 years, 15, 20 years, but the truth will always reveal itself. So from then on, from that experience with the car, and you know, hearing those words from my grandmother, who is now in heaven, like pain-free and just experiencing all the joy and happiness, I always try or strive to be an honest like person and tell the truth as much as possible. Like, I've made mistakes at work before, like, and you know, when confronted about them, like, I could have easily lied or made up a story to try and cover myself, but I just told the truth. You know, I apologized because I took responsibility, and I really was sorry for what I did, because I know I'm putting other people like in a situation when I do mess up at work. And but with my bosses, like, they know that I'd always be honest and I'll always be truthful. And even with leadership, like, you know, I love my bosses, and you know, whenever someone's truthful, they automatically gain respect. Like, I've had a lot of leaders who are, you know, if they were truthful and honest, and that's a lot of respect right there. When you're that kind of person, I think, like, it kind of, people can just they can trust you, and that means a lot. Like, you know, I feel like I like when I can trust someone. I feel comfortable around them. I can, you know, confide in them and things like that. And I had a 8th grade counselor that who I looked up to, and he had always said that like being like truth and honesty are the basis of a relationship. Like, they're the foundation. If you don't have a strong foundation, it'll topple over, you know, kind of like a pyramid. Like, they're built with strong foundations. Like, yeah, so it's truth and honesty. And, you know, I feel like telling the truth is important. I mean, by all means, I'm not perfect. And even to this day, I'll still tell, you know, I mean, I try not to, but I will lie to maybe save someone's feelings from being hurt. But, you know, for the most part, when it comes to anything, like, I always try to tell the truth, because when you lie as well, you have to think of another lie to cover that up, and it's just like a snowball effect. You're like lying to cover the next lie, and it's just like, and then you don't want to be known as a liar, and when you get caught, it's really embarrassing. And I think that a lot of self-confidence comes from being an honest person, because when you lie a lot and you carry that around you, like, your conscience knows what, you know, God knows, and your conscience knows, you know, and you carry that guilt with you. Like, when you lie, you carry that with you, and that takes away from your confidence. But if you always live in your truth, like, your confidence comes from that, because, you know, you're not hiding anything, you're being truthful. And yeah, I think it's just, it's really beneficial to be like a truthful person and honest. And with that, I'd like to end this test, which has become my testimony, with another scripture. 1 John 3:18. Dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. Okay, and the truth about our last video, if you watched our Easter video, is yes, I did have lettuce in my teeth. It's true. And when I rewound the video and was gonna upload it, I seen that I had lettuce in my teeth, because if you watch the video, like, I pick out all of his favorite lettuce that he likes, and then guess who gets the leftovers? This gal. But yeah, so I had like a salad right before, and I did my makeup and everything, but I guess I didn't check my teeth, so I had lettuce in it. And yeah, so it's not your eyes or anything on the screen. I had a lot of lettuce in my teeth, but I seen it after the fact, and, you know, I just wanted to get it like posted in time for Easter. So yes, I did upload it knowing that I had lettuce in my teeth. And if you even look closer in the video, I shouldn't be telling you this, but BB had like a little dreadlock like on his bottom chin right here, because when I give him his vitamins, it's in his bowl, and he gets like the vitamins, like it drips on the bowl, and then so he had like a little Rastafari dreadlock. So yeah, so in case you did notice those things on our Easter video, that is the truth. Yes, I had lettuce in my teeth, and I uploaded the video anyway because I wanted to get it in time for Easter. And he does have a dread, but he doesn't have the dreadlock anymore, by the way. I like cleaned his fur with apple cider vinegar and water. But yeah, yeah, and that's the truth about that. So if you want to check out the video again, just ignore the lettuce in teeth and his dread, or not. But it's about the message, okay?